Joined by former NATO commander Rear Admiral Chris Parry. Chris, this does at least put to bed the stories that we've been hearing from former foreign secretaries and many in mainstream media that somehow Trump's America would walk away from NATO. Provided we all play with the rules, they're there, they're with us. That must be good news.
No, Nigel, we've spoken about this before and we never believed that was the case. There's a lot of sort of internal, external audiences that Trump is playing to right now. But for about 10 years now, the Americans have been saying, look, in the past, whenever there's been trouble in the world, we've always been the sheriff. We hand out a few deputies' badges. We form a posse or a coalition. We sort it out and then we go home. But they've been saying for some time now, unless you invest in your defense in your region, whether it's Europe or the Asia Pacific, the cavalry ain't going to come. It's as simple as that. But every time either Israel or South Korea or others have actually called and said, look, we can't cope with this, the Americans have turned up. And so I believe what the American establishment and also President Trump says, of course. And he's slightly wrong, of course, with how much America contributes. It's about 70%, not 90 or 100%. And of course, he's a bit sort of...
It's still a lot.
Oh, no, it's far too much. And we've all been freeloading on America, but that it suits America, really, because they've got a lot of bases here in Europe. They get a lot of support from us. And if they're going to lead the free world against this autocratic coalition of Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, they're going to need our help. I'll give you an example. The United States Navy can't be everywhere at once, but if you add up all the warships we've got in the free world, it's about 1,000 warships. And that's enough to take on Russia, China, Iran, if we have to. That's the point. America knows that. President Trump knows that. And I think we don't need to worry about the alliance. The alliance is the most successful political military alliance in history, and it's still going strong.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. And I really, really hope and pray that Trump, being as clear as he was, 100%, puts to bed some of these really rather ridiculous, and I think being used for political reasons, stories. Chris, the world did seem a safer place during Trump's 4 years than it does under Biden's.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I'm not a great fan of President Obama. I think every crisis we've got in the world today is down to President Obama's inaction. And of course, President Biden was the vice president for Obama, and we're seeing a continuation of that inaction and weakness that is perceived by these autocratic rulers. One word of caution I'll say is that when President Trump was in power, all the sort of academics and senior military I met from China and Russia said, how do we deal with this guy? And I said, well, you can't. He's a businessman. If you need to read the art of the deal. They sort of know him now. So during his second term, he's going to have to come up with some other form of statecraft to deal with these people, because the likes of Putin, Xi Jinping, they're all going to be waiting for him, knowing what he did the first time and seeing whether he's actually got something else behind him.
No. A very interesting thought, Chris Parry. Thank you very much indeed.